What's up all you monstrous dudes and dudettes, Toyshes here, and I'm back yet again with another rockin' review. This time we're going to be checking out the brand new and kind of out of nowhere, we'll just say, well, as of hitting store shelves, the brand new Playmates toys, Godzilla and King Kong action figures. I did come across Kong from Kong Skull Island, and from Godzilla, you got the Destoroyah, or however you want to say him. On the back, you will see on the Godzilla one, you can see that there is a Gigan from 2004, Godzilla from 2016, Shin Godzilla, the Destoroyah, and of course Space Godzilla, and then Kong is just a little bit different for the background. Now, as of this recording, I'll put their Twitter handle down below. They came across about a 9 or 10 inch style Kong that better fits the artwork seen on the box. Regardless, let's get these things open. Let's check them out. This is the brand new Playmates Toys Godzilla, kind of sort of versus King Kong action figures. And of course, here is Destoroyah and Kong out of the packaging, and they look okay. They are passable. They're okay figures. And from coming from someone that recently got all the new Bandai ones that just kind of hit shelves in this year, I like them, but I'm starting to see the problems with these Playmates ones. If you're looking at Destoroyah, and he does come in these two pieces right here, you just kind of snap his tail on and it goes in well. He looks okay. He looks fine, right? You look at him just in this sense. But when you really start to look at the details, you start to see the immediate flaws. He's very smooth. There's not a lot of texture detail. There's not a whole heck of a lot of paint either. And for what paint there is, it's bare bar none. Especially when you look at the teeth all up close, the face, it just kind of looks like a wrapping of paint. There's no definition to the teeth really whatsoever. Yes, there is some paint here on his mandibles. It's just passable. It's okay. He has some glowing texture paint right there. His claws are painted. Little elements of paint every which way. I do like the wings a lot. I like the very basic aesthetic that this is a monster, but it's very sorely lacking. And up and down his spine, you get a little bit of like a glow sort of spray texture. It's not the best. But again, for these types of figures, it's okay. He's very light as well, hollow right here on the legs. The arms are thicker, the head. I mean, he's not the most solid of figure. He's not a NECA Godzilla figure by any means, but he's really not a Bandai one as well. In terms of the articulation, his head will rotate. His wings will go up and down, which, again, I like the wings on him. And as you can see on the backside, they just kind of go either which way you want. The tail will twist in two different segments right here, so that's not bad. He will kick out with his legs, and he does have some foot articulation in the sense that it swivels. So again, not a bad figure. Can't call it a bad figure, but for the interpretation of this character for what it is, you may like it, but I won't see a lot of people immediately picking this guy up. Kong, on the other hand, I think is actually the better of the two, and these two in particular that I found. He does have kind of an odd fade. It goes from black to brown. It's a really light fade to it, but immediately looking at it straight on, it does look like that he has an all black head on a brown body, so it's just a little bit off-putting in that sense, but the sculpt is there. That's very much a King Kong face. I like the claw marks on him. He's got some good aesthetics, good texture to him. He's a little flat here on the chest, I will say, from having all that fur kind of texture. It's not bad. It's not great. There's no peg holes on the bottom, actually, of each of these figures. But in looking at him, kind of what I wanted in the terms of pairing him up with these Bandai and or NECA figures. So he does look good, and I do like him a lot. He does have a really good ball joint head to him too. He kind of looks down, that's basically it, but then he can also look all the way up, and that actually works out pretty well. He's got some rotation in the arms, rotation in the legs, and then the feet actually do turn as well. It's a little bit loose, unfortunately, but it really doesn't hinder him at all from standing. Again, he's pretty good. Now, the other one that was just recently found, it looks to have some wrist articulation as well, which this one does not have. Hopefully I can come across that one as well soon enough. But he is at just that 6.5 inch mark. Destoroyah is around almost to the 7-inch mark on these, but let's pair them up with some of the other recent Bandai figures and NECA figures just to see how they scale. So in looking at them paired up with some recent NECA offerings of their Godzilla figures, Destoroyah, you can tell in the stylistic detailing, he doesn't fit exactly, but he will fare pretty well. Godzilla with King Kong, however, I think he look pretty dang nice. The Godzilla, you know, they just have that really nice sculpt to them, and the King Kong from Playmates does fit in better. Destoroyah, you can kind of tell, yeah, that's going to be definitely something, but once they're on the shelf, no one's going to know or be the wiser. In terms of pairing them up with Bandai's recent 12-inch Mechagodzilla, of course, they're not going to scale well at all, but yeah, you know what, if you're a big fan of Godzilla or everything else, they're all going to look great all paired up on the shelf. Same thing, same deal with the recent Jack-specific Godzilla from the most recent King of the Monsters movies. Much too short for the 12-inch, but they do look good after all. And of course, nothing beats the Lantern Toys, the giant Kong Skull Island. He's huge, he's gargantuan. I absolutely love this figure. If you don't have one, highly recommend you grab it. But I think that these work extremely well with the most recent offerings from Bandai. And yes, these Bandai ones have been released multiple times, but if you have gotten them this past year, I think that Kong and Destoroyah are going to look great mixed in. You can't really tell the difference, really. They all kind of have their misshapen things and paint details and everything else, but they do look good. And if you're a big fan, again, of collecting Godzilla in this scale and this type of PVC almost, we wouldn't call the Playmates ones like PVC, but they do look good and they will scale nicely. So in just kind of wrapping up this fresh look, I would say that these are fairly decent figures. I very much gravitate more towards the Kong figure just because I really wanted a Kong. The Destoroyah, though, he is fun. It's just that you can kind of see where they cut corners with that. And it's unfortunate because if they put just a little bit more detail, a little bit more paints, just that extra little oomph to him, that would have been a really, really nice looking figure. I can deal with the articulation all day. I think this is what fits these types of figures. Yes, you can get more into the SH Monster Arts and everything else and go bigger and grander, a lot more articulation, but for the price, for them being aimed at kids, for having some fun, going to Walmart, getting a toy, I think it suits it perfectly. Do I recommend these? I would say definitely get the Kong. I'm definitely going to go after that roaring head Kong as well. But let's be honest, I'm going to end up getting them all because they look cool when they're all put together. I'm like a good monster. I like a good dinosaur. It's just a lot of fun to get. So in that sense, if this was any more expensive than 12, no, I would not say grab it, but you can't beat it for that price. But I am curious to know what you guys think. Will you be picking up any of these new Playmates Godzilla / King Kong figures? Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything monsters. What's your favorite Godzilla monster? I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember that even though Godzilla vs. Kong was pushed back by what, 8-10 months? Fingers crossed, that is going to be one heck of a movie. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.